A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock myself?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... he landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Aw! Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation.
Welcome to The Rock. It's time for round number 7 of the season here for the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. It comes to you from Rockingham Speedway here tonight. Welcome into Turn 200's coverage of Max V. My name is Tommy Cook. We got Mr. Joshua Motichek as always. I'm very happy to be back here tonight. And welcome to Rockingham, Mr. Motichek. How are we feeling headed into some 1 mile action here this evening?
Feeling great, Tommy. Always good to be here on a Thursday night. Watching some very close racing. As always, The Rock is a very fast track. It can make for some pretty tight racing. Mile tracks are always ones to watch when it comes to creating good racing at the end.
Certainly, this is one of the more dynamic mile-long tracks that we have. We'll get into the specifics of this track here in just a minute. And yeah, I thought I may have loaded in the wrong points graphic, and I sure enough did. So let me stall here for just a second. I'll get the right points in here. Just a second, if I can find it. What I can tell you is this, while I fumble around with this, Joshua, Scott Patton had himself a great week last week. He made a big jump up in the standings, up to second in the points. James Lehman still the leader, though, same way it's been since after the conclusion of round number 3. Big jump as well for Matt Sisler. He moves into the top 5 now. Dakota Floyd, a rare misstep from him this season. He falls down to 6th.
Yeah, Justin Michael's still sitting right there in fourth. Missing that race might have been a little bit of a hindrance to him. Sitting about 40 points back from James Lehman on the lead.
And yeah, even with him missing a race, he still is the first driver to put up multiple wins here this season. Also got himself a win Monday night in the debuting Max V ARCA Series. Justin Michael, pair that with a Truck 200 championship formerly on Monday nights, and driver 87 is on a roll. But he will have his work cut out for him here tonight, as will all these drivers here at the 1 Mile Rockingham Speedway here this evening, which is getting ready to make its real-life return, and that is incredibly long overdue. We got less than a month to wait for that. But this is a look at Rockingham. Turns 1 and 2, turns 3 and 4, different bankings, different configurations as well. I can't remember if you were in the Venom Truck Series race here last season or not. But this is a wonky track. This is a really fun track, depending on who you ask. I happen to love it. Some other drivers here tonight will make their disdain for it known rather quickly.
Yeah, I was here last season at Rockingham. It was actually my first top 15 for regular season points. So definitely enjoyed it. It's almost like racing two different tracks because of how different the corners are. I mean, it's wild as a driver to roll into one, on the brakes and awkward down in the corner, and then 3 and 4 you just kind of rail down in there. But it's definitely a fun track, like you said, long overdue that we see it back in real life as well.
I kind of equate going through 3 and 4, especially if you're riding up on the top side. It's kind of like being on an old wooden roller coaster. You are just hanging it out there on the top side and going bump, 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 getting all shook around there. But man, it is an absolute blast, especially if you can manage to not crash and explode. Qualifying has wrapped up, and never mind the misstep from last week. It is Dakota Floyd who is going to lead this field to green here tonight at the Rock. James Lehman, always one of the short to intermediate track favorites. He'll start on the outside of the front row. Scott Pack, the 1 Mile Track Whisperer, will line up in third with Matt Sisler into the top 5 of the point standings. He's on a roll. He'll start in fourth. Nathan Carroll, one of 4 drivers that are going to make their Max V truck debut here tonight. He'll start in fifth with Mark Jackson. Great qualifying effort from him. He is just above the cut line in the points. He will start in sixth. Charlie Widener and Tom Wiesa, who was very fast in practice, second quickest at the end of 50 minutes. He will line up in P8. It is Will Kirk, Rob Haynes, who will round out the top 10 starters. Mike Nolfelt, Jordan Neese, row number 6. Caden Moreland, another debutant here tonight, will start from P13. Wally Turheimer is back at 14th. On row number 8, it is Heath Smith and Greg Parmalee, who will make his debut tonight as well. Brian McRoberts, Kerry Cleaver, Gary Offit, another debuter, and Justin Michael way back there in 20th. 21st is Greg Mull, 22nd, Billy Bumgardner, Jack Watts, Rod Minton, Matt Rodolasso, and Trent Drum round out your top 26 drivers. Brandon Gruber, Bill Paradise, Brad Slagle, Zachary Gruber back there in 30th. Chris Sargent is in the points hunt here. He will start deep in the field, though, from 31st. Michael Bain at 32nd. Riley Tilton all the way back in P33. That is how many will take 2. Otto Dromo, Dwayne Johnson here this evening. Quick peek at the weather conditions here. It is just under 100 degrees on the track temperature, ambient temperature of 79 degrees. It's a 1 mile track. Only 100 laps here tonight. This is going to be a short one. Strategy going to be very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So to take a look at the specs for the strategies, we're looking at 3 extra sets of tires as usual with no fast repairs. We still have the incident limit rule in place, so a 16X will be a drive-through. 21 incident points will disqualify you from the race. So definitely got to keep it clean and not get involved in too much, not race too aggressively. 70% fuel will put the fuel window around lap 50 to 55. So if we go green, it's definitely possible to make it green to checkered on one stop, if your tires will last. 100 laps is the full distance, as stated previously. That will put the stage brake at the end of lap 25.
existing once you're at full speed. May catch some drivers out here. Of course, if you're not kind to your tires or your competitors are not kind to you, the walls at any point in this lap are not hard to find. Dakota Floyd, James Lehman, they're buddies in real life. They are fierce competitors on the track here this season. They're both in the championship hunt, and they are both aiming for the whole shot into turn number 1. We're racing at the Rock.
Good start off the rip for both these drivers on the front row. Going to be neck and neck into one.
Multiple lines carried through turns 1 and 2 there. The lead will go to James Lehman, though. Around the outside, Floyd, and now Scott Patton quick to make his move to tuck right in behind the 57.
Yeah, top 3 here have broken away pretty quick. That's going to put Matt Sisler under fire from Nathan Carroll. His debut definitely showing what he's made of right out of the gate.
Carroll trying to do his best to wrap that yellow line on the bottom of turns 1 and 2. Scott Patton, meanwhile, making a move underneath the 57 of Floyd here on the bottom in 3 and 4. You can see some undulation there. And
Ooh, as he gets into the wall just slightly.
all those bumps really do not get any better or worse, whether you are down low or up high in the turns. Particularly turns 3 and 4. Side by side, it's Mark Jackson and Nathan Carroll. Jackson is looking loose, though. Charlie Widener is going to slip around the outside of the 17 truck.
Ooh, Jordan Neese into the wall hard, coming off a 4. Already seeing several drivers getting caught out by these walls and how they jump back in on the straight.
One driver we did not mention on that points graphic, but he was finally there. Will Kirk finally got himself a decent finish at Chicago. So now he's up to 15th in the points. He's up to 15th. He right now is in a position for some stage points. Ooh, saw some smoke up at the front of the field. Dakota Floyd got awfully loose. He has saved it. Now he's trying to save second. And now Matt Sisler on the attack underneath Scott Patton.
Yeah, that's going to let James Lehman get out to just over a second lead, which I'm not sure if that's what the rest of these drivers want here.
Only 25 laps to the stage, only 100 laps overall here tonight. If we can go caution, well, we're going to have one caution. We'll have the stage caution. And if we can keep the cautions relatively low, this race could be over in a hurry. We already got lap 7 up on the board. We're only chasing 25 here to caution number 1, hopefully.
Jordan Neese coming in a hurry into turn 1. Looking underneath Charlie Widener.
Neese has been very aggressive here this season, but he's also had some bad luck as he will find the door of the 95. Trying to find his footing here in Max V. Certainly had some bad luck on Monday in the Max V ARCA Series, and friends over at the Virtual Grip Network had that one. Very entertaining race, but Neese was riding in a great spot at the end of the race, and the motor blew up on him. Not the position you want to find yourself in.
That's Ryan Dye luck there.
Yeah, okay. Neese has had this kind of pace all season long, just outside of the top 5. Maybe can make something happen here with Matt Sisler in front. Nathan Carroll having a good race here already. Up one spot to 4th and challenging. Maybe Scott Patton here for the 3rd position.
Yeah, and as these drivers are strung out pretty well single file, James Lehman is just walking away from this field.
Yeah, here's, James Lehman across the line. Then back to Dakota Floyd. It's a 2nd and 3/4. Floyd with a little bit of space now back to Patton, who is about to have his hands full with the 63 truck.
Yeah, he's making known very quick what kind of driver he is. Oh, Neese is up into the wall. Just behind them.
Doesn't cost Neese any spots. I mean, he's still not the travel. Trying to get around Matt Sisler to get into the top
5. Will Kirk now under fire from Weeza for that 10th spot. Mark Jackson has slid all the way back to 11th now. So Jackson is going to be down 5 spots off the start.
Yeah,
Off the first 12 laps.
not what Jackson was looking for sure. Out of the stage points now, Tom Wiese running in 9th. They'll be trying to get some separation back to Will Kirk. The biggest mover thus far is definitely Jordan Neese, up 6 positions. Further back, Brad Slagle is up 5. Justin Michael also only up 5 up to this point. Started 20th, up to 15th.
Yeah, curious to note, Justin Michael was the first truck to not make a qualifying lap.
He's done that before. Just kind of slow playing this race. It's a jump ball whether or not it works out for him in the end, but I also don't know what he's shooting for. Of course, he would like to win every race.
That being said, he is sitting on the fastest lap of the race.
Carroll and Sisler now side by side for P4. Sisler is faded away from Patton. Carroll is faded away from Patton. Now Sisler with the driver to the outside. That's still Neese, Rob Haynes, Charlie Widener, all right here together. And hello to the Motichek gang. Hello to Marilyn Beck cheering on Will Kirk here as well. I'll try and tinker on the audio a little bit, see if we can get it a little bit better. Here goes Haynes underneath of Neese. Widener almost sticking it in the middle there, 3 wide. Not advised, but a 3 wide move is what got the job done for TJ Crampton here a couple of months ago to win the Truck 200 race. Problems for Kerry Cleaver. And he has just towed back to the pits. So not sure what happened to driver 69, but we will stay green. And Gary Offit is coming into pit road here as well. And Riley Tilton also never took the green flag. So we got 30 drivers back to Michael Van, still out on the track of the 32 that started the race. Lehman the leader. Just a handful of laps to go until the stage break already. It's going to be a quick one here tonight if we can stay green. Floyd in second, Patton in third, Nathan Carroll and Matt Sisler your top 5. Neese and Widener battling for 6th. Rob Haynes running in 8th. Tom Wiese in 9th, and Heath Smith has climbed now up to the 10th position.
Yeah, and don't look now. Justin Michael is up to 12th.
So he may be eyeing some stage points here. As Sisler and Carroll, that one is done and dusted, and Sisler will take that 4th spot. Neese lost the nose of that truck just a bit. Opens the door for Charging Charlie to take a peek down low. Nothing happening.
Pretty strung out. Heath Smith going to look underneath Wiese for the 9th position.
Smith is on the move here. He puts in +6 on the day. Greg Mall just made a pass on Wally Turheimer a little bit further back. Moved Greg Mall up to 16th.
Neese is in the wall again.
Yeah, once you kind of get a little bit tight, or even once you get in the wall here, it's pretty easy to keep finding our way up this track. It sort of cleans itself up, if that makes sense.
Once you hit the wall, it just becomes a magnet.
Widener going to take a big swing here. Puts the power down, slides up with a couple feet to spare, and will clear the 12 of Neese for 6th. So Neese going to try and hang on for some stage points here. Lehman the leader, but all of a sudden Dakota Floyd has cut that gap down to just 0.2 of a second into a couple of truck lengths here. Looking for a stage win.
Yeah, Floyd on a roll. We've known Floyd to be at his best during middle of the stage, whereas James Lehman is definitely a shorter stage racer.
Yeah, he has definitely pushed these tires to their limit, and now he may be paying for it. Floyd up on the top side looking for the momentum down Thunder Alley. And new leader with a lap and a half to go in the stage. It's Dakota Floyd.
Like a breeze.
Maybe just pushed it a bit too hard. 1 to go.
Patton is closing that gap up to Lehman in second as well. Don't think he'll be able to get close enough.
Yeah, I think he needs one more lap, and he's not going to have it, unfortunately. Dakota Floyd at turn 4 will take the stage win. Already a good recovery from last week at Chicagoland. Driver 57 will take himself 10 bonus points. Lehman in second. Funny enough, I believe Lehman's worst finish of the season was last week at Chicagoland as well, and it was 10th. And you wonder why he's the points leader.
Yep. Definitely the place you want to be, having top 10 after top 10.
Stage points go to Floyd, Lehman, Patton, Sisler, and Widener, the top 5. Nice job for Nathan Carroll to finish 6th, Jordan East 7th, Rob Haynes, Heath Smith, and Justin Michael does sneak in for 1 bonus point there.
Yeah, so Justin Michael up 10 spots in that 25-lap stint.
To the pits we go.
Looks like Wally Turheimer's gonna stay out.
I think Wally fell a lap down, perhaps? Looks like he's going around the pace truck.
Yeah, it does.
I'm not sure how that happened, though.
Sure is. Yeah, so he'll come down this time.
You sure would hope so.
It looks like Gary Offit.
3 wide, race off. And I'm not sure who got it. Floyd is still out front. I thought maybe Patton got it, but he's still in line in 3rd. Either way, that was a little tight. But yeah, there's like Joshua was saying, Gary Offit is still on pit road. I think him and Kerry Cleaver may be out of it as Justin Michael slowing down the back straightaway. He may have picked up some kind of pit road penalty here. Will Kirk, also slow. It tells me that they crashed, but I think that's just them slowing down. We'll double check here just to make sure. Yeah, and then it's just them slowing down the back straightaway. So that's not good news for Justin Michael. All that work that he just did to take himself from a 20th place starting spot up to 10th in 25 laps. He's now back in 27th with inside of 75 to go now.
Yeah, so from here on out, gonna be able to make it a one stop if it carries on green.
Certainly, if it doesn't, tire strategy will come into play, but you certainly need to be kind to your 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods here.
Going to be back on the green. Dakota Floyd gets a great jump. Going to bring Scott Patton along James Lehman.
Yeah, Lehman, as good of a start as he got on the initial jump. He did not get it there, and it may allow Scott Patton to get up to second as one goes around. It's Rob Haynes.
Haynes into the inside wall very hard.
We are still green. Some contact further back as well. Will Kirk got a piece of it, but we're still green. Once you go spin it on a turn 2, that inside wall is inevitable. Look at this, 3 wide for the lead. Patton keeps the door open down low. Floyd stuck in the middle, and Lehman to the top side. Lehman back to the lead. Widener and Sisler side by side behind them for 4th, but what a move for James Lehman in the 50, back to P1.
Scott Patton gonna make it stick underneath Dakota Floyd and gets back up to second.
But you gotta wonder, Is that the 57 nursing these tires even just a bit?
I definitely think, knowing the driver he is, it's got to be what it is.
I was going to say, we've seen this song and dance a couple times here this season, and if it were anybody else, you would say you don't want to give daylight to Scott Patton or to James Lehman, but we saw it in just 24 laps. Floyd was able to reel back in the 50 truck rather quickly at the end of that run. And we're looking at a lot more laps than that. I mean, 75 laps to go. You know it's a one-stop race. Where do you want to pit, assuming we go green the rest of the way?
Yeah, I mean, on fuel, you can make it 50, but your lap times are just going to fall off too much. So ideally, you'd want to make it about halfway, somewhere in the 40-lap range, the early 40s, 42, 43, depending on how well you can nurse the tires. A driver like James Lehman, we might see him come down just a little bit earlier, whereas Dakota Floyd, very well at handling these tires on the long stint. We may see him extend here.
Yeah, Floyd was working the overcut quite well before a late caution at Homestead Miami Speedway cost him a win earlier this season.
He's going to be under fire from Charlie Widener now.
But charging Charlie here. Another one of those drivers that's a little bit closer to the cut line in points than he would like to be, but this is a Charlie Widener kind of track here, and he's proven it. Challenging for third here on lap 36.
Yeah, we see a couple different lines just in these three drivers, shuffling around, trying to see what works and what doesn't.
I want to go back while we can here as we watch Jordan Neese underneath of Charlie Widener. Let's see how this one shakes out, and then we'll see what happened to Rob Haynes there on the restart. Neese and Widener have been side by side quite a bit here this race already, and they are door to door down Thunder Alley. I mean, Neese was almost in a four-wheel slide there, just trying to get up in front of the 95 truck. We'll quickly take a look here at the 199. He's on the top side.
There's a caution out.
Oh, poorly timed replay on my part. But you see what happened there to Rob Haynes. That is just a case of cold tires up high on the banking. He cleans it down into the inside wall. Problems for Greg Parmalee in his debut here tonight. He is already towed back to the pits, and we won't waste any time. We'll get straight into the replay here for what brings out caution number 2 here this evening. There is Parmalee in the 04, and that is so easy to do. You get a little bit loose, you walk it down the track, but as soon as that truck starts to head weightless back up the hill there, you are almost powerless to control that truck.
Yeah, they really snap around quick.
You just watch the hands here on the 04. Counter steer, back up the hill. Nothing you could do there. And that truck is destroyed. Just the good news for him is he did not pull a car along and barrel roll down the backstretch. Some activity on pit road here. Lehman is in. Patton is not. Dakota Floyd also coming in. Matt Sisler is in. Justin Michael, Will Kirk, Zachary Groover, Brad Slagle, Chris Surgett, Mark Jackson, Bill Paradise, Trent Drum, Billy Bumgardner, Michael Van, and of course Greg Parmalee as well. But that makes it Patton, Neese, Widener, Smith, and now Mall for the first time into the top 5 tonight. Little split strategy here. We only ran about 12 laps there under green, if that.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit of a shorter stint.
But I mean, this race is flying by. We're almost halfway done, and it's been not even 20 minutes. I mean, this is going to be a quick race. Even if the cautions do start to pile up from here, which, you know, it can happen. It's been known to happen before. Cautions breeding cautions and such. But, I mean, this race is just flying by.
Gonna let me get to my dinner a little bit early tonight.
Wow, how about that? What you got cooking?
We had takeout tonight.
Oh, man.
Good old Qdoba chicken.
Can't go wrong with that.
Definitely not. I would argue it's better than a Martinsville hot dog.
Yeah, I've got some hot takes about Martinsville on and off the sim, so we'll save my hide to be tanned for another day there. But certainly ain't nothing wrong with a hot dog, and definitely nothing wrong with takeout. So very interesting here. We know all these drivers all the way back to Dakota Floyd in 15th. So everybody from Ryan McRoberts up in this running order will have to make one more pit stop. Going to be awfully close whether the drivers that came in under this caution will have to make another pit stop. We'll see how the cautions shake out. They may want to make another stop anyway, but they've got a little bit fresher rubber now than the drivers in the top 14. Patton and Nice on the front row. Patton in control. Nice, bit of tire spin there. Allows Patton to get up and be firmly in control of the field here heading into turn number 1.
Yeah, Charlie Widener going to just barely get clear and slot up in front of Jordan Nice. Greg Mall in the 5th spot, up to 4th on that restart.
And how about Tom Wiese? Very fast in practice. Was in the top 10 there for a bit at the start of this race, but have not called out his name all that much here this evening. He's now into the top 5 as Nice and Widener going at it here for second.
These two have not left each other's side almost the whole race.
No. It's a bit of a double-edged sword to have a running buddy battling inside the top 10. At the end of the race, you're probably like, oh, that was a lot of fun, as long as you didn't crash each other. But during the race, you know, you're probably calling each other some names, I would imagine.
Depends on how close you are.
Yeah, good point.
Greg Mall going to slot himself outside of Jordan Nice coming off of 4. Looking for the podium position here. He's going to run it into 1 hard and get this spot.
And that's the thing. You can run 3 different lines in both of these corners, and it takes something different to make them each stick, but they can all stick for, most of the run. As long as you've been kind of kind to your tires, you can maneuver around this track quite a bit. It's forgiving in its unforgiveness, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely a very unique track. One that you really have to spend time on and explore to really feel out where you as a driver run best.
You can see almost the whoops there in 3 and 4 as we ride along with Heath Smith back in the 6th position. Got a bit of traffic in front of him up to Scott Patton, the race leader. He's got about half a second back to Charlie Widener. The first driver on fresh tires is Dakota Floyd, and he is not too far behind driver number 1 here. He's already up into the 8th position.
Yeah, Dakota Floyd is on a mission here. After a not-so-good run last week, he's looking to slot himself back on the podium.
Smith trying to take the long way around Tom Wiese here. Nathan Carroll is on the move as well. And Floyd right behind them. James Lehman, Mike Milfelt, the rest of the top 10.
Milfelt's been hanging around the top 10 just about the whole race as well.
Yeah, started 11th. Didn't stray too far there in the stage. Didn't come away with any points, but he hung right around there. He's hanging around again.
After restarting on the tail, Justin Michael is up to 12th now.
Yeah, Michael trying to make good work here to get himself back into the fight. Charlie Widener's getting closer and closer to Scott Patton. We'll keep our eye on that battle here. But Nice and Mall going at it side by side here for third. Dakota Floyd gets past Heath Smith just behind them.
Yeah, Floyd and Lehman are both making tremendous strides on these fresh tires.
And there's Lehman in the back of the shot, going underneath the one of Smith. As Wall is tinkering around with trying to find a way through here on Jordan East, but he's going to run out of time as Floyd is about to take them both.
Yeah, when we're at the front end, you want to waste no time getting back there.
Dakota gets one. He's underneath Jordan East there. Stream skipped for a second. See Dakota, or rather Jordan East, lose the truck there in the middle of the turn. That allows Floyd to get a good run here, even running the middle of the bottom.
And East is into the wall again.
East into the wall. There is Lehman underneath. As Patton's been able to open it back up on Charlie Widener to about 0.3 of a second or so. But Floyd and Lehman right back to third and fourth.
Yeah, closing this gap up quick. Gap about 1.5 seconds. 1 second up to this top two. And I'm sure they're going to waste no time getting there.
Already under a second. Up to Charlie Widener. Back to Justin Michael quickly, up to ninth. He's got Tom Wiesa right ahead. Looking for eighth. Wiesa up into the wall. And there goes Michael through. So a plus 12 for Justin Michael does not tell a whole lot of the story because he had to go all the way back to the tail of the field after he drove himself from 20th to 10th to take a stage point. Floyd now has caught Charlie Widener. And the door is open. Floyd has to tuck back in the line. Now it's going to open the door for Lehman to get underneath. Here's the 50.
Oh, and they're going to split Charlie Widener.
Oh, boy, it opens up there, but it almost caught him in a really bad spot, and Lehman rolls out of it. And that may have saved a lot of carnage there.
Definitely, probably the better option. Lehman still has not too much time left as we are ticking down laps pretty quickly. But still a sizable advantage to the checkered.
But still, we're running this one green, and got to be a thought in the back of the head here for everybody. Even the drivers that just came down pit road. Do I have enough fuel? Certainly we don't think Patton or Widener or any of the other 14 drivers that stayed out under this caution do. But Floyd and Lehman aren't really leaving a whole lot out there to chance. They are really pushing hard. You got to wonder how close they are.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that. At the stage break on lap 25, plus a few caution laps, that should put you pitting around lap 75 to 80, and then running a 20-lap stint. So these guys that came in on lap 40, they're going to be pushing it within about 5 laps of running out of fuel before the checkered.
Well, Lehman trying to set a pick here, with Floyd getting caught up behind Scott Patton. Lehman is through to second and already working on the 46 for the lead, again on 12-lap fresher tires.
Yeah, Dakota Floyd going to follow him in and make it happen.
The pick and roll for Lehman. The work is not done yet, though, as Floyd is hanging underneath. But Lehman gets the line that he wants. Right up nearly against the wall there in turn number 1. Floyd trying to hook that paint there on the bottom. But Lehman with the lead out right here on lap 62. Rather tilted in the chat. Yeah, unfortunately didn't even get a a shot to turn a lap here tonight. Rod Minton is coming in. So he'll be the first driver of those that stayed out under this last caution to come down pit road. And there's two ways of looking at it here. Lehman and Floyd taking no prisoners out on the track. That to me means that they are good by a few laps, or they are not good at all, and they're trying to just put as much pace out as they possibly can.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the two, nowhere in between. Ideally, these two out front would love to see a caution. If they could get a caution, they could refuel and come back out in front and not have to deal with green flag pit cycles. Lehman into the wall in one. Still going to get a good run off, though.
Shout out to Greg Johnson hanging out with us. Hopefully he'll be in action one more time tomorrow night here on Turn 200 with the Special Stage Pro Truck Series at Wild West Motorsports Park. Asking us to check on Charlie Widener there. He's hanging on to fourth for now, but Justin Michael is flat-footing to catch up. And I'm not too sure. I didn't just hear somebody kill their motor. Let's ride with the 87 here. And he is turning off the motor. He is saving fuel. So he thinks he's got a shot to save enough fuel to not have to make this pit stop.
Yeah, and as we saw Rob Mitten pit there under green, you lose just under 2 laps. So, I mean, even if he runs out and coasts, he still has almost 2 laps of advantage over making a pit stop.
And Mitten was really not that far out of the top 10 as well. So Michael would have that much more in terms of track position as Lehman goes up the track, and now the caution is out as Floyd had just taken the lead. Oh boy, they are piled up here in, I think, turn number 3. Trent Drum, Mark Jackson, Ryan McRoberts. McRoberts seems to have gotten the worst of this. Caden Moreland also with some damage in this 013 truck, and he is limping back to pit road. Well, never mind on that.
Michael Van and Brad Slagle also involved.
Oh, man. First name I see here is the 23 of Ryan McRoberts. We'll go chopper cam here to see what happens to the 23. And that is one loose in front of him. Oh, man. Van Paradise. Oh, man. Another Rob Haynes. 199 impact there. That's rough.
Yeah, Rob Haynes not having the luck on his side tonight.
No, certainly not.
It's also going to be unfortunate for Rob Mitten, who had just pitted a few laps earlier.
So that is Moreland. That goes off the front bumper here of the 23 as everybody is down pit road. I mean, that's a hard shot there for Ryan McRoberts. Michael Van, absolutely nowhere to go. Bill Paradise, nowhere to go. As the 14 of Drum piles in. And for a split second there, that track is completely blocked. And luckily, nobody else was coming. Other than Rob Mitten, who eventually finds a lane. Race off goes to Dakota Floyd. Scott Patton out second. Justin Michael out third. Where is James Lehman? James Lehman is 16th. What happened to the 50?
He must have rolled through his pit box.
Well, let's go find out. Yeah, he certainly did. You saw just a little reverse there. Right side tires. Everybody takes 4 as well. So Lehman didn't lose time there. You have to stop a certain distance underneath of your pit sign. Otherwise, your service cannot begin. It's easy to do.
I've done it too many times myself.
Indeed. It's one thing to do it when you're, under green and pushing for everything that you've got to try and make a pass on pit road. But under the yellow, when everybody's all clumped there together, to go from battling for the lead all the way back to 16th. Make it 17th actually. That's rough.
Yeah, definitely not what he wanted to see. That being said, James Lehman is very good on the short run. So if anybody can do it, it is him.
Just had our caution extended here. As Trent Drum was trying to get caught back up, he spun in turns 1 and 2. And so that doesn't count as an extra caution, but it will delay us going back green by 1 lap. So it's now Floyd v. Patton v. Michael, your top 3. Boy, Justin Michael is made out like a bandit here tonight for Bandit Motorsports. Charlie Widener, though, has had good short run pace. 30 laps to the end, not quite a short run. Keep your eye on this 95 truck. Heath Smith, Jordan Neese, your top 6. Maul, Groover, Wiesa, your top 10. And Mike Milfeld in the top 10 there as well. Back to green. Oh, not a good start there. You don't want to be on that outside on the front row, apparently.
Yeah, Patton spins him up on the start. It's going to give the lane to Justin Michael. And that's not the driver you want to give a lane to.
Floyd out front. A lot of space through this field. As we got problems further back, Bill Paradise around on the back straightaway. We're going to stay green, at least for now. But look at this big run here for Patton, charging right up to the bumper. We'll take a look down low here in 3. Oh, Floyd hanging it out.
Yeah, Patton definitely better on the fresh tires. Floyd is definitely a saver.
And Michael all too keen to let these two go to battle here as well. You see how much he drops back.
Yeah, battling lap over lap wears your tires out much quicker than it does just running consistent laps.
And I think Patton is wised up to that as well, as he is not pushing the issue nearly as much here. We'd love to get some clean air. As well, there's one loose down the backstretch, and that's Tom Wiesa, and I do not know how he saved that. That thing had all the signs of disaster written all over it. Oh, man.
Goes to show the drivers we have.
Yes, indeed. Talk about 4 drivers making their debut here tonight. That was Wiesa last week. As Patton now pushing the issue once more. Looking underneath Floyd for the lead.
Oh, Floyd into the wall.
Oh, and Neese into the wall.
Still into the wall.
As well. Neese and Smith going at it behind. The battle for the lead. And again, Patton not able to make the pass.
Floyd hanging it out around turn 4.
Smoke him if you got him. That's the call from Greg Johnson. We're certainly smoking him.
Heath Smith going to look underneath Jordan Lease. Millfelt loose in 4.
Oh, yeah, Millfelt up into the wall. That's going to cost Brandon Groover a number of spots here, as well as Will Kirk, who is going to have to make a save. Oh, man. These drivers are really have their hands full.
That's going to bring James Lehman up to 11th, looking inside the top 10.
Lehman, a good recovery thus far after the issue on pit road. As Justin Michael inching his way closer and closer into this battle for the lead. Patton not giving up. Right back to it, down low. He's got a nose out ahead as they hit the stripe. Floyd will take the momentum, continue to be the leader. But Patton may be able to make something happen here through 1 and 2. Patton is back on point. Here is Justin Michael now.
Yeah, Patton's got really good speed through 1 and 2. Floyd gonna look low this lap.
Floyd looks loose. And I'd rather be loose than tight here, but, you know, I'd rather not be either.
Without a doubt. Justin Michael gonna get a good run off the corner. Looks like he's gonna take a peek underneath Coda Floyd.
And Patton struggled to make this pass for lap after lap after lap, and it's only going to take 2 laps for the 87 to move up to second on Floyd. 17 to go. It's now Patton versus Michael. You can usually pencil this battle for the lead in at a lot of the races on the Max V schedule at one point throughout the night. But Michael's record at the 1 mile tracks is complicated, especially compared to Scott Patton, who is the 1 mile whisperer. But Michael is in it for the win here tonight after not posting a qualifying lap, starting all the way back at 20th, driving himself up to 10th for a stage point, picking up a penalty on pit road and dropping all the way back nearly outside of the top 30, and doing it all again.
Yeah, definitely no stranger to coming through the field. Seen him do it multiple times.
15 to go. Floyd struggling with the handle on his truck. He's backing up to Charlie Widener, who has fended off Jordan Neese quite nicely for 4th. Neese running in the top 5. It's Smith Lehman up to 7th. He's now side by side with Matt Sisler to try and take that spot away. Sisler and Lehman 7th and 8th, Mall and 9th. Jack Watts, haven't mentioned him tonight. He's in the top 10.
Yeah, good run for Jack Watts.
He's a lot like Brantley Gainey to me in that he's not necessarily a long run driver, but he is a race long driver where he's never very flashy to start the night, but he always gets the results at the end of it as long as the truck is running.
Have to just be there at the end.
That's when it counts. Work is not over yet for any of these drivers. 24 of them that are still on the lead lap here with 12 laps to go. Patton now will catch some lap traffic at the former Wally Turheimer. And Justin Michael inching his way ever closer. Lap traffic does not stop there.
Very spread out. Yeah, Rob Haynes and Mark Jackson will be the next 2 trucks under fire to go a lap down.
Of course, Haynes is taking a couple of big shots here tonight.
I'm about to say, or more laps down. Rob Haynes showing -8 on the lap count, whereas Wally Turheimer is -1.
Haynes picked up a podium spot on Monday night with the ARCA Series. he would have liked to have been in the mix here, and he was for a while. It will not be the case here tonight. 9 to go. Michael
This race is
stalking his prey, lying in wait.
Race has definitely flown by.
Yeah. And it's only been 45 minutes. Ooh, Patton missed his mark there. Michael, he gets a little bit closer, but he's not quite able to capitalize.
Still about a truck length back.
And don't look now, but Dakota Floyd is catching back up. Right on cue. Charlie Widener really not too far behind either. He's still putting in some good laps. As that is Mark Jackson getting up into the wall. It's going to cost Widener some time down the backstretch.
Yeah, gonna separate out the top 3 by about a second.
Top 3 equidistant, 3/10 between them each with 6 laps to go. Patton looking for win number 1 of the season. Michael looking for 2 in a row. It'd be his 3rd of the season. Floyd looking for his 2nd in 3 weeks. But Michael just lost a big chunk there.
I think Michael was trying the top there, knowing Dakota Floyd is coming. Gonna make Dakota look to the bottom.
And look at this.
And he's just gonna stick it to the line. Gonna be even down the backstretch. Justin Michael's gonna inch ahead by about half a truck length.
The momentum much more of a factor out of 3 and 4 off this top side. Michael able to hang on to 2nd for now.
And without a doubt, Patton is enjoying seeing these two battling. As they're going to straighten back out single file. Dakota Floyd's going to remount his charge.
See if Michael has an opportunity here to focus back forward and go back on offense. He is certainly searching around, and Patton is not too far away, just 0.3 of a second with 3 laps to go. Smith looks like he's going to have a go on Jordan Neese for a spot on the top 5. But a 3-truck battle at Rockingham for the 2nd Rock appearance in a row here on turn 200. 2 to go. Oh, Michael into the wall. As Patton moves up the track, Michael follows him there. But still,
Under a blanket. Michael right up to the wall.
looking for the
They
white
are
flag.
nose to tail.
1 mile to go. Patton, Michael, Floyd. They're all struggling. Oh, Michael pounds
into the wall.
Floyd will get through to 2nd, and Scott Patton can breathe a sigh of relief. Trophy hunting 2025 is officially on. Patton wins at the Rock. Floyd in 2nd. Justin Michael will round out the podium. An incredible effort from him here tonight. He certainly left it all out there. But Scott Patton finally going to victory lane this year.
Yeah, Justin Michael giving it all she had.
Certainly did. Pat now into double digits on Thursday night. Trucks here with the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series with number 10. First of the season.
Yeah, after James Lehman's unfortunate run-in in the pits, Scott Patton will likely take over the points lead.
Certainly will. Only got outpointed by him by 1 in the stage, but did a number on him here with Lehman back at 8th. Patton taking the win. Short and sweet celebration for driver 46 and a well-deserved round of burnouts for our favorite New Englander. Patton will take the dub here tonight. We'll get the full finishing rundown for you here as soon as this cooperates. Always have to do a little finagling. There we go. Patton with the win. Floyd in second. Justin Michael in third. We'll talk to all 3 of these drivers here in just a moment. 4th place for Charlie Widener. It's Jordan Neese to round out the top 5. Heath Smith in 6th. Matt Sisler, James Lehman, Greg Mall, Brandon Groover, the top 10. Tom Weasel will slip back to 11th there. Nathan Carroll in 12th. It is Jack Watts, Mike Milfelt, and Zachary Groover. The rest of the top 15. Will Kirk will finish in 16th. 17th for Matt Rodolasso, Billy Bumgarner in 18th. Chris Surgeon and Brad Slagle. We'll round out the top 20. Ron Mitten in 21st. Michael Van in 22nd. Mark Jackson in 23rd. Wally Terheimer 24th. Trent Drum and Rob Haynes, the 26 drivers that finished the race here this evening. It is 27th for Caden Moreland. Bill Paradise in 28th. Ryan McRoberts, Greg Parmalee, your top 30. Gary Offit and Kerry Cleaver, the 32 drivers that took the green flag here this evening. So we will go in search of your podium finishers here in just a second. As soon as I can get our cameras to work the way I want them to. Talk to your 3rd place finisher. He gave it everything that he had here tonight, and he passed a whole hell of a lot of trucks here this evening. But Justin Michael will take the bronze after 100 quick laps here tonight at the Rock. Welcome back to the booth, partner. Very full race here tonight in just about 45 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if I think we should have an extra couple bonus points for passing the most vehicles. I think I went through the field twice.
Yeah, 20th to 10th in just 25 laps. Back to 27th there with some kind of pit road penalty, and immediately right back through the field once again. That's maybe, outside of a super speedway race, that's maybe the most vehicles we've seen passed in one race, especially in such a short amount of time you had to do it in here tonight.
Yeah, and then trying to save tires at the same time because these tires really fell off pretty quick there, and hated for that last yellow to come out because we were good. We were good by 2 laps, and James was short by a couple, so we would have. I think we would have won. That yellow not came out.
Well, and that's very interesting as well because we were watching you from above, and I was like, I don't think his engine is going. So, we don't like to give away all your secrets, but we were on board there. How tight was that margin going to be?
I was 2 laps to the good.
Wow.
I was probably 5 laps away from not having to stop saving, so I was doing quick math in my head, and where I used the most gas and didn't and all that, and I was good. I would have been fine. I think Sisler was the next one closest to me, and he was like in 12th or something.
It's not good enough for you that you have to be better than me at racing, but you also have to be better than me at math, too. That's just not right. Joshua, what you got?
Where am I from? I can't do math. That's just, I have apps for that.
Yeah, congrats on the podium. Bringing math right back into it, how much, does strategy come into play? Can you be a midfield driver and just completely out-strategy everybody and take the win?
Oh, yeah, you absolutely could. None of the guys, like I said, none of the guys were saving gas except me, and, had I not been saving gas, the guy running 12th or 13th would have won, so you can definitely, you don't have to be the fastest to win. And I think that last pit stop on the last yellow, I didn't even mean to take tires. That was actually an accident. So luck actually worked out in our favor there, I think.
And talking about tires at the end of this race, the ebbs and flows were really crazy. we saw you laying back like we usually do, eyeing down a short to medium run. You make pretty quick work there of Dakota Floyd, have to battle there with Scott for a while, and then Floyd comes roaring back there at the end of the race. I mean, we know this setup, this track, and the tires here are all very temperamental. I mean, how was trying to balance a short run to the end there, and how hard you needed to battle there as well?
It was hard. I mean, I'm not really good on the short to mid runs typically, and that was what I think like 30 laps or so. So I just figured we'd give it half, just kind of keep up with them and then start pushing it after that. I got by Dakota and I'm catching Scott, and Scott says, "Hey, where's Dakota running?" I was like, "Oh crap! Hey, he's catching us." He says, "I know, but where's he running?" I was like, "I don't know. I think he's probably running up top." So I switched, and then I started catching Scott really fast, and then he had to come up and take my air away. So it's payback for Chicagoland when I did it to him.
Well, a lot of fun here tonight. Thanks for putting on the show as always, and let's get some shout outs before we let you go.
Yeah, just everybody out there, watching as always, and you guys for calling the race, and James for putting on the legs. So, Carrie for sponsoring it. So we always appreciate that, and we'll see you guys next week, wherever next week is.
Oh boy, I typed it in earlier, and I can't remember. Oh, it's Texas next week. So
okay, Texas is good. Hopefully we'll be back up here.
Sounds like a playing partner. Go rest up after a short burst here tonight, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, sir.
Well, he's had a lot of time up at the front of the field here tonight. Dakota Floyd will come up one spot short of a second victory here this season, but what a show Driver 57 put on here tonight. Welcome back to the booth.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Well, that was a quick race, but a flurry of blows, if you will. You were absolutely getting your elbows out all night long here, battling for this lead and battling there for second in the closing laps with Justin.
Yeah, Rockingham's a very tight racetrack, so I think no matter where you go or who you're racing around with, it's going to be close and contact's going to happen. This is a really tough racetrack, but I really, really like this racetrack and really look forward to running it when I get the chance.
Very dynamic, but also, pretty hard on the tires there as well. We saw you slip back. We saw you slipping and sliding there all through that final run. You fall back towards Charlie Widener, but as soon as you do, you claw your way right back up into the battle for the win there. I mean, what was trying to manage a set of tires for the last 30 laps like?
Managing tires here is always a challenge, but I just made sure I was backing up my entries. That's the biggest key for me here is just back up the entries. Don't force the truck to rotate, and it really, really helps long run there. It helped me out and get the stage win there for sure, and try to get back to those guys. But towards the end of the race there, I think the track was really cloud covered, so it was cooling down. It was really hard to make passes if everyone started moving towards the top. So I did the best that I could to save the tires, get to them, to try to get in front of them, but they did a good job of maintaining their track position and fighting for it.
Joshua, what you got?
Man, congrats on the P2 and being back up here with us. As you're looking at about 5 to go, and you and Justin Michael had caught Patton there. I mean, all three of y'all were underneath a blanket and well checked out from Charlie Widener. What's the thought process as the laps are ticking down and you got to start making moves?
Yeah, once I got to Justin, I was like, maybe their tires are shot to the point where I can make the inside work. So when I had tried to ship it in there on the bottom and try to get around them, I just didn't have enough momentum or wasn't close enough to slide job in front of them, and I didn't want to wreck us. So I was trying to make the best of what I had, and at that point I was just really hoping they made a mistake, either clipping the wall or getting stuck somewhere, and I could kind of sneak by them. So I was just trying to hold on and make the best of what I had there.
Lots of fun here tonight. Great stuff from you all night long. Congrats on the P2. Let's get some shout-outs for you.
Yeah, definitely to shout out the league and all the admins for making this happen every week. It's been phenomenal first season for me here. I've been having a lot of fun racing these guys, a lot of talent in this field. So definitely thanks to everyone that put in a lot of hard work to get this many trucks in the league in the first place to have these phenomenal races. And thank you guys in the broadcast booth. I have a blast going back and watching these broadcasts. You guys do a phenomenal job up here, and really appreciate what you do for the league to give us a broadcast here. And I want to really thank everyone that watches and everyone that supports me week in, week out.
We got the crowd up on their feet here tonight and the broadcasters as well. Great show from you. Great stuff as always. We'll hope to talk to you again next week at Texas, but go celebrate a P2.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful night.
Well. Trophy hunting is finally back on the menu. Scott Patton with win number 1 on the season. Welcome, driver 46, back to booth 200 here. How about it?
Appreciate it. Yeah, that's been a long time coming, but yeah, feels good for sure.
Oh, we talked about it last week. You're the 1 Mile Whisperer. I mean, this is a little bit different than Milwaukee and New Hampshire. I think if you combine the banking in both of those tracks, it's still not enough for what we had here at Rockingham, which is already a very different track in the first place. But boy, you hung around in the mix all night long. Caught a good caution there at the end of the race to put yourself in a position to be up front there late as well.
Yeah, certainly an interesting strategy on this one, but our goal was to just kind of be there. And I knew with Dakota taking off, James taking off early in the race, I was kind of sizing up the competition to see what we'd be dealing with for that, what would presumably be a longer tire run in the second half. So my goal was just to be there in the top 3, not take myself out by making mistakes, and that's what we ended up doing. Made the pass when it counted and pulled away, and just told myself to hit my marks and make them go around the long way. So, yeah, I was happy it was 100 laps and not 105 laps.
I was going to say, late there in the going, it seemed like the momentum shifted every which way, of course, with Dakota catching up late to add himself into the mix. But it seemed like Justin was on the Primo tire strategy there, and then all of a sudden he hit a brick wall. You were able to get the truck rotated, and then all of a sudden nobody was really able to get around there at all late in the going. I mean, so many shifts there in the final 10 laps or so.
Yeah, there's no other track I can think of on the whole circuit that plays as much of effect with tires and drivability, the ability to, start a run knowing that you want to do a sprint like James did and gain a 3 or 4 second lead and then hit that wall like you said and come back, or do you want to play the tire game and the fuel game even like Justin was doing on that second run and play that strategy, and that paid off for him and he made it right back to the to within a second or 2 of the lead. And I was kind of in the middle. I was kind of sizing up the competition, seeing what they were doing and kind of playing off their cards. I certainly didn't want to jump out too far and end up with dead spots there and hitting that wall too early and backing up to them. So just playing enough to keep in front of them, and it kind of worked in the end. And once, 3 laps to go or so, when I saw Dakota and Justin side by side, that's like to say, nothing better than I could have seen back there. So.
Well, don't call him Goldilocks, but he is the race winner here tonight with the just right strategy. Joshua, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on the win and being back up here with us. I mean, we've seen you up here in the top 3 and leading at multiple different tracks. I mean, what is the final straw that does make it just right to be able to be out front at the line?
It's just with this competition in this league, it's putting everything together from the drop of the green flag, even from practice. I mean, I told myself tonight I was ready to get in the practice room at 8:29 waiting for it to open, just kind of with that mindset of getting as many laps as we could. I was like 12th or 14th or something in practice, and I was begging these guys like, hey, what do I have to do? What am I missing? How can I even get in the top 10 in practice? But I kind of went in qualifying telling myself that doesn't matter. That's not important. What's going to matter is not taking ourselves out, not making mistakes. So trying to take a little bit from the other guys, the faster guys, and seeing what they're running for lines and maybe taking samples of that, but knowing at the end of the day that if we can find something maybe unique to ourselves and put that together in terms of a driving line and strategy, tire saving, that sort of thing, that maybe we can outsmart them, and that seemed to be what happened tonight. So yeah, just keeping us in the race from start to finish, from the drop of the green flag, and glad it paid off tonight.
Well, you're getting your first win of the season here tonight. You seem to be hitting your stride at the right moment. I know you've been itching to get into victory lane, not just here, but also Truck 200 on Monday nights as well. But it's finally happened. You've got some good tracks coming up here as well in the run to the championship. You cut out a huge chunk of the disadvantage you were at in the points last week looking for a regular season championship, and I would imagine tonight, after it's all said and done, that you're probably going to be the points leader as well. I mean, all things looking up 46 right now.
Yeah, looking up, heads up on these coins. I reached over 3 feet, grabbed the coin out of the bag, so I've already got that on my steering wheel, and I don't even have to pay postage. So happy about that. That feels really good. I can't remember a win that's felt really this good before in quite a while. I think it's our first win in 2025. Wow. I know certainly Truck 200 and like I said with this Truck Series. So I don't know. We've kind of been there, but we've also made enough mistakes to take ourselves out of plenty of these races. So maybe this is the coin flip that we need to turn things around here and be up here a little more consistently.
Well, let's get some shout-outs for you before we let you go here and let you go celebrate.
Yeah, I certainly want to give some shout-outs to all the new drivers in the league. The admins that help run this, James, Justin, Heath, all those guys to help put this together. We all kind of contribute a little bit here and there, different aspects of the league. But everybody that showed up for that ARCA series on Monday nights, I think we got a lot of transfers. I haven't looked at all the names yet, but I think it's certainly a growing league, and I appreciate everybody watching these broadcasts. Hopefully they do enjoy them. The competition is certainly increasing here, and we love every part of it. So certainly you guys, 200, turn 200 for everything you do for us. And that's about it. Stone River Outfitters, got to give Matty a shout out. I told him today, I saw Matt LaVenture, is a good buddy of mine who owns Stone River Outfitters. I saw him at work today, and I told him we're at the Rock tonight, and I told him I feel it coming. He's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, it's ours to take. We're taking it. So, Matty, this one's for you, bud. Anybody have any fly tying fishing needs? StoneRiverOutfitters.com and New England Racing Museum. Dr. Dick Bergman's project up there at the the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, if you're up in that area. And I think that's about it. All the guys at Bandit Motorsports for all their help and support. And looking forward to next week here.
Well, we're finally on the board for driver 46. Scott Patton, the winner tonight at the Rock. Go celebrate, go party hard, and we'll hopefully talk to you again next week in Texas.
Let's go. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, buddy. And I want to say as well, before I turn it over to you, with all the new drivers that we had here tonight, and really just a field of 30-something drivers in general, only 3 cautions at Rockingham. Big pat on the back to everybody here tonight. In and out, 45 minutes. Bish bosh, it's over. And a really good race at that. 3 drivers, like you said, under a blanket there at the end, just like we saw in Truck 200 as well. I think just Rockingham has got the magic, but unfortunately the Magic Mile is already a taken nickname. But man, Rockingham puts on a show once again here tonight.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, always a treat, getting to jump in here on Thursday nights and watch some great driving and great racing. Tonight at Rockingham, definitely taking some notes on strategy. Rockingham will show up later in the season for the Venom Truck Series as the endurance race. So going to be 250 laps around the Rock. So definitely taking some of those strategy tips to my personal notebook. But really enjoyed it. The Rock is always one to produce great racing. As well as Max V wherever we go.
Yeah, I forgot about the length of that Rockingham race, which is the regular season finale as well, if I'm not mistaken. So that's
it definitely is.
Oh boy, that one is going to be. I don't think we're going to have 3 cautions on that one, but we will see. I've been pleasantly surprised before, like I was here tonight. So we'll see about that. But certainly good. A lot of good things to take away from this one to tuck away in the back pocket for a couple months' time. In the meantime, let's thank everybody that was hanging out with us here tonight. Appreciate Greg Johnson for hanging out with us, as well as the Motichek gang as usual. Shout out to Robin and Bailey. Marilyn Beck cheering on Will Kirk here tonight, and Riley Tilton. Hopefully we'll see him back out on track next week at Texas. Lots of stuff going on between now and next Thursday. It is our final 2 races of the season for the Special Stage Pro Truck Series. And I know I've been saying that I won't be at the season finale, but just like almost every other dirt track in the country, I am rained out in real life. So I'll be there for 2 races to close out the first season of Special Stage tomorrow night at Wild West Motorsports Park. It's 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Catch us on Tuesday for the Venom Truck Series. They are at Charlotte Motor Speedway off the back of one of the wildest nights of racing that we have ever had. I missed it, unfortunately, but seriously, you need to go and watch the All-Star race and the All-Star Open from the right-turning Monza Oval immediately. If you have not already, it's on turn 200. The Venom Truck Series will have a high bar to clear in Charlotte next week to try and top that at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. That will lead us back into Texas next Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the drivers of the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. Thank you to CNC Home Designs. Thanks to Kerry Cleaver. He did not have a very good night out on the track here this evening. It was over very quickly. But if you need a custom home built in Central Florida, be sure to hit up Deb and Kerry Cleaver, and they will get you covered with exactly what you are looking for. Appreciate their continued support of Thursday night truck racing here with the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. Thank you to the league admins, as always. And thank you to Mr. Joshua Motichek as well. That's all we got for you here tonight. Till we meet again from Rockingham, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long, and congrats, a long overdue, first victory of the season for Scott Patton at The Rock.
This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.